In The Perks of Being a Wallflower, an introvert freshman is taken under the wings of two seniors who welcome him to the real world.
You know, they say if you make one friend on your first day, you're doing okay.
Hey, freshman Toad! Go get him! Come on, hop! Let's move it, boys!
If my English teacher's the only friend I make today, that would be sort of depressing.
I remember reading The Perks of Being a Wallflower back in junior high school when it was the cool thing to do. Everybody was reading it and I thought, man, I gotta get my hands on this book. Seems legit. And it turns out I did not enjoy The Perks of Being a Wallflower very much. I thought that it seemed very desperate to be cool and edgy and different, but when I saw the trailer for The Perks of Being a Wallflower movie, I was surprised that I actually thought it looked good, so I was looking forward to seeing it. And then it's funny, when the movie started, I hadn't looked into it at all. I didn't know that it was written by the guy who wrote the book, and then it said it was directed by him as well, so I was like, oh my god, no. No, it's going to just be everything I hated about the book in a movie. I can't do this, I gotta go. I ended up staying, and I ended up absolutely loving it. Loving it! I was in shock leaving the movie theater. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed a movie based on a book I didn't really like at all. In fact, if I could go back in time and tell 7th grade Eric, look, I know you didn't like this book because it was like, oh, drugs are cool, man. Oh, yeah, suicide, man, so edgy, so dark, and so deep. But trust me, the movie is going to be really good. And 7th grade me would have been like, whatever, man, pulled up my baggy pants. I'm not proud of myself, but it is in the past. I really did think it was very overbearing in its, you know, like I said, almost desperation to be edgy. It really did feel like that, the book. But the movie felt so natural, and I really don't know if it's the directing or the acting or a combination of all of it, but it really felt so much different than I remember the book being. And of course, keep in mind, you know, I read it in 7th grade. It's been many years, so maybe if I read it today for the first time, I would have liked it more. Obviously, I've changed. But I do remember it being overbearing, and the movie is not that way at all. So let's delve a little deeper into The Perks of Being a Wallflower, starting off with the writing, which I would have expected based on the fact that the guy who wrote the book wrote the movie, and I refuse to say his name because I don't know how to pronounce it. That's why I keep calling him the guy. But somehow it was different, and I don't know if it's because maybe just I didn't like his writing style, because I remember it was written a little bit strange. Once again, it's been a long time, but I remember there was something weird to it. But it really worked for me. And it's possible that it's because it works better for me on a visual level than actually reading it. I really don't know exactly what it is. There's some kind of magic, the movie magic, that made it work for me. As far as the directing goes, this guy did a really great job. And the fact that he was able to turn someone who didn't like his book into a fan of his movie, at least, is, I think, a great feat. So good for him. He converted me. I did not think in a million years that I would have liked The Perks of Being a Wallflower movie. So the main thing is that I think a lot of details were handled better in the movie, and maybe it's that they went quicker in the movie than they did in the book. I don't know exactly what it is, and once again, I think it's definitely has to do with the acting, which I'll get into next, but I was emotional, I was laughing, I was totally invested and totally into it right from the very start of the movie. It just, the pacing was fantastic, it grabbed me and didn't let me go until the end, and even then, I wanted more. I didn't want it to stop, which is not something that I really feel often. I wanted to stay in this world that was just done so well. Also, the movie had a style to it. It definitely had a bit of a unique touch, and that's something I'm always looking for in movies, is like a way that you can tell, you know, this movie apart from this movie, and it doesn't just, you know, blend in as the same thing. And it's a bit of a visual style. There was almost a bit of a haze to the movie that kind of was inviting, and it was interesting. But also in the editing, I thought that some of the editing was amazing, specifically when Charlie would have, you know, visions and, you know, flashbacks and stuff like that in his head. I thought they were handled so well. And acting-wise, I was blown away. First of all, Logan Lerman was amazing. I thought that he was perfect. And when I say perfect, I don't mean for the character from the book, because once again, it's been a long time, so I don't remember the characters well enough to say, oh, he played the part perfectly, as I remember from the book. As far as the role in the movie goes, I thought that he was fantastic. And right up there with him is Ezra Miller, who is also just amazing. I really thought these guys did such an amazing, amazing job. They pulled on my heartstrings. I felt like I was right there in that group of friends with them. And specifically with Ezra Miller, he's so funny that when he's upset, it just kills you, you know? He did such a great job of that. It was so perfect. Not as perfect, but still really good was Emma Watson, and I promise it wasn't any confusion on my part with her being like, whoa, Hermione in a different movie. It wasn't like that. I really didn't think of that at all, except for like maybe at the very beginning when she first came on screen. But she, I thought, fluctuated a little bit. I think she got much better as the movie went on, but when she first came in, the first shot of her is like embarrassingly weird. That was very bizarre, and that was making me think, man, this is gonna be bad news. And it was kind of all over the place for a little while, but then she got really good and she fit right in with the rest of them. I don't think she was as good as Logan Lerman and Ezra Miller, but she held her own with them because they were definitely leading the pack. I thought everybody else was really good. Too many people to go into specifics for everyone, but two people I would like to mention are Melanie Lynskey, totally not what I pictured the aunt to be at all, but it worked, and Paul Rudd, I thought, did a great job because he was very reserved, and, you know, he didn't kind of go over the top and take over any scenes or anything like that. He, once again, kind of felt perfect, and I feel weird saying perfect because that makes it seem like it is just absolute perfection, but that's just the word that comes out of my mouth. I really did love Perks of Being a Wallflower, I have to say. I am shocked. I truly am shocked. I still can't believe it. I feel like I need to see it again to make sure that it wasn't a fluke. So let me know in the comments what you thought of The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Do you think I'm crazy? Did you hate this movie? I'm honestly curious because I still don't believe how I feel about it, but let me know if you liked the book. That's going to be very important because I didn't like the book, but I loved the movie. Did you like the book and dislike the movie? Did you like the book and like the movie? You know, whatever combination. Let me know what you thought of the visual style of the movie, kind of like that hazy tone, if you know what I mean. Let me know what you thought of the acting. Oh my god. Let me know what you thought of Logan Lerman and Ezra Miller. Also, Emma Watson. What did you think of her? Let me know what you thought of anybody. Let me know anything that you want about The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Once again, truly shocked. And that's pretty much it.
I know there are people who say all these things don't happen. I know these will all be stories someday. But right now, we are alive. And in this moment, I swear we are infinite.